Hey guys, it's Louise with Gallery 1 Point Fashion, and we are live in the sewing room. Yay! We only have a few more episodes for the end of this year. I'm super excited. I'm going to wait for some folks to come on. So super happy to have you on board. Anyway, this is it, the sewing room. This episode is going to be how to sew a grocery tote, part 2. Now, part 1 we did the last episode. You can catch that on our YouTube channel by subscribing, like, or follow on Gallery 1 Point Fashion on YouTube. Okay, I'm gonna go while people are still jumping in and saying hi. I'm going to go ahead and give you some quick announcements. If you guys have registered for our last event for She Lives, it's still time for you. It's still okay for you to come in if you registered on Eventbrite. Then you have a free gift, waiting for you here. So do come in, and that's at Gallery 1 Point Fashion, 401 West Pecan Street, Suite E as in Echo, and that's in Pflugerville. Do come in between Tuesday and Saturday, 10 to 6, and let us know you had registered on Eventbrite for the She Lives, the Women's Annual Health Event. So that, again, you've got until the 31st to come in and grab your free gift. Vendors have contributed to those gifts. It's really, really nice. So the other announcement I had was the next episode of the sewing room is going to be November 2nd from 6:30 to 7. Of course, they're all in person. We're in person here, and we are live on Instagram with you guys. Okay, how to sew a Christmas stocking. Now, again, if you guys are going to show up in person, I'm asking that you go on Eventbrite and let me know. You registered for the event on Eventbrite, tells me you're coming in person. When you come in person, I have snacks ready. I have beverages ready. We got music going in the background. We have a great time to sew together. So, but I also have, whether or not you're going to bring your own machine, I'll set you up a space, but I just need those little details, if you're coming in person. So it is in person event, but it is also on Instagram with you guys, right? And then the last sewing room episode for this year, well, not the last one, I misspoke. The next one after that will be November 3rd, how to sew a stocking, Christmas stocking 2. Okay, so that's stocking 1, a Christmas stocking 1, and Christmas stocking 2. Just like we had to break up sewing totes, it's a lot of steps, and we don't get all of those done at once. Okay, on November the 12th from 11:30 to 6 p.m. The brand launch party, things that we use every day. They're a brand. They're launching. Come out between 11 to 6 p.m. at Gallery 1 Point Fashion. We're hosting it. They are also a vendor. Please come out and support local. This minority-owned business has gone through a lot of effort to bring us some fantastic products. Do at least come out and check them out and purchase with him. If you intend on coming to the launch party and you want a free gift, he is also registered under us, under that event, brand launch party, okay, for things that we use every day. Do go ahead, and it's free, but at least you get a free gift, and he'll have it waiting for you when you get here, okay? November 25th, if you are a vendor, please jump in right away, because they are going to fill up fast. We are inviting you excuse me, to join with us for our annual Black Friday event. You're gonna absolutely love shopping with these vendors. They pull out all the stops on Christmas, It's festive. We have the music. We have the wonderful environment. We have, of course, the snacks and the beverages. And you're going to want to be here. So go to www.gallery1point.com and sign up for your Black Friday pop-up event. That event's going to be from 2 to 6. You can look in the description and see the rest of all that it entails, all those details. All right, we're going to jump into part 2 of how to sew a grocery tote. Anytime you guys have questions, jump in and put them in the comments. I'm close enough where I can see you guys and I can answer the comments like I did last time, like I did last episode. If you missed these episodes, there will be a copy of this. It's going to be still a live episode, but it'll be a copy of this on our YouTube channel. Do subscribe, like, and follow our YouTube channel at Gallery 1 Point Fashion. Okay? All right, so the last episode we covered, we gave you dimensions for straps, and this is what they look like before they're sewn. This is what the measurements are. There's 2 of them. Okay. Then we told you to go ahead. Oops. We told you to go ahead and get your fabric ready. We gave you the dimensions for the bag. If you missed all of that, again, you can also send us an email, or you can sign up for the class in its entirety. That's also on our website, how to sew a grocery tote. That will give you a 2-hour, it's a 2-hour class, and it will give you your dimensions and all the details. Okay, so if you miss all of that, you can always sign up. So after that, we kind of searched all around our fabric. Mind you, we cut on the fold right here. And then we searched all the way around. If you don't have a search machine, use a zigzag just to finish it. It looks nicer on the inside and it stays longer. Okay, so once those 2 prep things were done, then we took the straps. And just because I'm using this yellow, I wanted to use black so that you can see where I know that sometimes the yellow on yellow is never going to show up on the camera. So I decided to use black so you could see it. But you know, if that's not your thing, you know, use some really nice fabric, you know, and make your grocery totes personal. Oh, I also, did I say something? I didn't tell you about the special on our how to sew Christmas stockings. So if you registered to show up in person for how to sew a Christmas stocking and you get halfway through that, or you get your stocking done by watching our episode, I am offering free embroidery on those stockings. You do have to register with Eventbrite and or slip me a comment in one of Instagram or Facebook, because sometimes we copy these off to Facebook and or YouTube, and let me know that you attended, and then send me a pic. I want to see what you did. So anyway, same thing with the tote. Okay, if you guys get all the way through those instructions with just the small amount of information that I give you, yeah, send me a pic. I want to see what it looks like. Send me a notice, comment, whatever, and I will see if I can get you some free embroidery while you stop by Gallery 1 Point. All right. So again, I'm just using black thread so that you could see it on the camera. This is one of the straps. We have 2 of them. I kind of went over this one twice. It's a little darker than the other one, as you can see. Okay. Then what we did last week was we folded. We already had cut on the fold. We folded it in half. And then on each of the sides, we sewed those together at a 1 inch, a ½ inch rather, seam allowance. Then we opened it up, ironed them open like that. At the bottom, we created a false bottom. If you remember, I'm just doing a quick review. We snipped these corners right here. we measured 1 inch by 1 inch on both sides, 1 inch by 1 inch. And then we snip those corners. Once you snip them, then you pinch them together like this, just like that. And you create yourself a false bottom. Now this is the side, this is the false bottom. And what it essentially does, after that you want to stitch all the way across, just like I did right here. That's where we left off last episode, okay? Next thing we're going to do, I'm warming up my iron. The next thing we're going to do, after we've got our sides, we have our cute little false bottom, we're going to sew the straps on. But before that, I want to bring this down 1 inch. We're going to bring it down 1 inch, and then we're going to press it down. It's easier if you, here's a tip, it's much easier if while sewing that you press at the same time, just like I talked to you about earlier episodes. You have your sewing room all set up with your sewing machines. If you don't have a sewing room, like I didn't for years have a sewing room, honest, I used my kitchen, my dining table, and I clear that off because I had a very small apartment that I was doing my business out of and living out of, right? And so I would clear that off, but I would always set my iron up because I knew whenever you're sewing, you're going to do a lot of ironing too, okay? Oh my gosh, I see some folks on. Hi, it's been a minute. Good to see you. So we got our sides done. We got our false bottom done. If you missed those steps, again, go to YouTube, subscribe, like, or follow on Gallery 1 Point Fashion YouTube channel. And it is there for you. If you missed all of it and you were like, I didn't get any of that, Louise, that's good. Sign up for the class. If you don't like the dates that we have on the website for the class, then shoot me an email at info@gallery1point, all one word, all spelled out, .com. And I'll put that in the comments. So we're going to fold now our tote. This is the top of the tote. We're going to fold that down 1 inch and then iron. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit. Not certain. I'm going to move the camera so that you can see. So I'm moving off camera. But this is about 1 inch. And if you need to, go ahead and get your ruler and measure 1 inch down. And here's my little mobile iron station. Remember I told you it's so good to have an iron while you're sewing because it makes it so much better. Now, what did I do? I'm going to give you a tip on getting things not to be bulky on those edges. Remember when I said we opened up those seams, the side seams. This is the side, right? We fold it down. When we open it, we keep it open like that. And then we iron it flat, just like that. Okay, guys? All right. So once you have it done like that, I'm going to move the iron out of the way so I don't hurt myself. And then we're going to put it in the machine. I think you can see pretty well. I hope that you're following along. I hope so. So much fun to sew together. And we are going to sew a straight stitch. So set your machine to a straight stitch, okay? Your favorite settings. Remember I told you there's a way to calibrate to your favorite settings for a straight stitch. If you are unsure about that, you can always sign up for my Sewing 101. That's covered then. All right. We did a fold over hem. That's covered in Sewing 102. So you're just like jumping ahead. Sewing 102 is fold over hem. And we're going to sew a 1/4 stitch, straight stitch seam allowance right here above that serge line. I think I want to go a little bit further above it so that you'll be able to see on the camera once I'm done that stitch line. Okay. So we're going to sew right above that stitch line all the way. And I hope you guys are enjoying this fall weather. I hope everyone's enjoying the fall weather. You know what I love about the weather, the fall weather the most? No mosquitoes. They've been tearing us up, the mosquitoes. Oh my goodness. They really have. They've been tearing us up. So last episode, I messed up and I put the camera and its fixture on the table and I was sewing and you guys were doing like this on the camera and no one said anything until later, and then someone sent something to me like Louise, it's shaking the camera. I'm like, oh my god, let me put it on the bottom. So I just thought that was a funny episode altogether. I did not edit the episode either. It's funny. Anyway, so we are sewing a 1-inch hem, fold over hem, right? 1-inch fold over hem. You guys drop any comments if you have any questions of where we are. And we are sewing together in the sewing room. This is going to finish up our bag pretty much. So I'm sewing, the 1-inch is the fold over hem, but we are sewing a 1/4 seam allowance from that last serge stitch or zigzag stitch that you have. So that's what we're doing now, what you're seeing now, okay? And we're going all the way around. Now, mind you, we folded it down and then we pressed it first. That makes it a lot easier to sew when you have your pressing station right there where you need it. It's very easy. All right, we're going to be careful to make sure that our last stitch actually meets the first one that we started. So I see we're all the way at the end, and what I like to do is what they call a run over stitch. Run over stitching isn't a back tack, but it is stitching over the same area that you did when you first started. So that's that run over stitch. Oh, I also have a glossary of terms and things like that when you sign up for the class. Ask one of my students, I think they were like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you gave this. So now I can speak the same language. All right, so we did that. This is what it looks like on the inside. This is what it looks like on the outside. Again, I'm using black thread only because I wanted to show you, what it looks like on, in the camera. Sometimes the camera doesn't always show everything. So there we go. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to turn it right side out. Okay. And to strengthen this false bottom and these sides, we're going to poke out those corners that we made with that false bottom, just like that. You see that? Oh, didn't that come out pretty? Okay, we're going to press that down like this, nice and squared. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. Press it down, find our corners. Hold on. In order to get the corner to come out, because like a lot of times they don't like to come out and be nice crisp corners, is you can use something sharp or use something like I'm using the seam ripper. A lot of times that doesn't work for people. Use the tweezers, and press that flat. You're going to do that first. All right, so that it's like this. Okay, next we're going to do the side. Right where that corner is, we're going to fold the bag. Oh, let's get the other side first. Let's get the other side first because it's going to fold so much nicer when these corners are in. So we're ironing the other corner. Okay, again, if you guys have questions, yell at me in the comments. I'm able to stop and answer. Okay, so now we're going to do just like a sandwich bag, and we're going to iron this first point to point. And when you do that, it creates like a little sandwich bag bottom to it. We're going to fold it in half, just like this. And get the one side in. This is our first side of our grocery tote. Fold it down that side, and then you're going to fold in the other side, just like this. And note that we are ironing these down. It's so much easier when you iron them down before you sew. And I'm just straightening out the fabric so that it lays nice and neat in the corner to corner. And this is matching edge to edge right here, okay? And then let's get this corner in better so that it's nice and crisp. And then we iron and make it stay down. And then I like to go to the middle like that. And then we're going to flip it over. I'm going to flip it this way so that you can see it again. Then we're going to repeat the same thing, okay? So we have this corner here. We're going to flatten this just like that. And at the top, we have to follow through and flatten to make it even. This is even, and this is even. And then we iron. It's magic. It's magic. And then we fold it in half, right where our side seams are. We stretch this out right here. And we fold in half again, like that. Now they're supposed to meet. Mine's not meeting. Let's see what happens. There it goes. Now it's meeting. Too much fabric in there. There it goes. So I'm using cotton fabric with mine, so it really irons quickly. I like a little mixture in the fabrics like polyester and cotton. When you're done, you're going to end up with a little accordion kind of look, just like this on the sides. This is where you're going to sew. You're going to sew, these are the sides. So you're going to sew here. You're going to leave the needle into the project, and then you're going to pivot and sew down across. You're going to leave the needle in the project on this side. You're going to pivot and then sew back up again, and then repeat the other side. That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to grab this corner, this point, and this is the top, and we place it right on the edge. So we don't want a 1/4 seam allowance, but we do want a nice crisp edge. Put the needle into the project. And when you use stiffer fabrics, this is what I was saying, you end up, hold on, too far from the edge here. Let's try this one. There. When you use, nope, still not happy. Sometimes that happens. Let me get my snippers. Gotta have your tools with you when you're sewing. So important. So important. Yeah, I know. Pun on words. Okay. Let's see if she'll work now. Sometimes my machine doesn't like to show off. Let's try there. There it goes. Okay. Sometimes wants to give me trouble. Ooh, just like that. Doesn't like the corners. Let's try one more time. There it is. All right. We're going to sew all the way down here. And then when you get to this corner, right here, this corner, we are going to leave the needle into the corner. There it goes. So if that happens, you know, a lot of times with a lot of lighter weight fabrics and you're starting right at the corner or the tip of your project and it gets stuck in the down shaft of your machine, it's only because you can't start there. You can start there, you start up further and then back tack and then accomplish what you need to. I'm going to lift my presser foot, but my needle is still in to the project. I'm going to pivot. This is called pivoting. Pivot to this corner. This is my other corner of my side. So we're going to sew straight this way. We are creating that false bottom, giving it a good crisp corner on the sides. When I get to this corner, if my machine will behave itself, again, lift up your presser foot and make sure all of the excess part of the bag is from underneath. You only want this corner, this side right here that you ironed, okay? A lot of times this is where machines mess up. Again, it may not like to go over that spot. Oh, did it go over it? Yay, it went over it. Okay. It likes to make a liar of me too. You guys drop a comment if you have questions, or if you have a better way of doing it, you know, share with the group. It's what we love, is to share info. It's the sewing room. When I get to the end, I like to back tack because I don't like stuff coming undone. I see all these little strings and everything. Let's go ahead and get them under control. There we go. Cut all these strings. They show up a lot when you have a light fabric and a dark stitch. Everything shows. All right. When you're done, you should have a square, or rectangle rather, like this. We started up here, we went down, we pivoted, we went down here, we pivoted, we went back up. We're going to repeat the same thing on this side, okay? When you're done with both sides, because I'm running out of time, you're going to measure 1 inch in from this corner. 1 inch in. Actually, we're going to, because this is a bigger bag, we're going to do 3 inches. 3 inches in is right here. And then you're going to pin your strap on there. And what we like to do is what they call a utility stitch. So a little utility box. And you're going to create your utility box there. You're going to follow through on the other side. Once you get that other side stitched up, you're going to go in 3 inches on that side and then slip your strap in there and do your utility strap stitch right there. Okay. And then you're going to repeat the same on the other side. Then you will have your grocery tote. It is so, so good to sew with you guys today. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for shopping local, for being there for us local folks, and sewing our grocery tote. Now this one, once I finish it, it's going in the trunk of my car so that whenever I go to the grocery store, I just snatch all of my grocery totes all in one little bin that I have in the back of the trunk, and I conserve and save. We all can do a little bit, you know. But what's cool is you can wash machine dryer this sucker. When it's done, it folds really nice. It sits up by itself. It's so super cute. You can bring in your tote after sewing your tote, and let me know that you've been watching the episodes, and I will give you free embroidery. I sure will. But it's been a pleasure with you guys. Can't wait to see you on the next episode. how to sew Christmas stockings. It's going to be fun. If you intend on showing up in person, which I absolutely love the company, do go on Eventbrite and let me know that you're going to be in person, and I'll prepare a special gift and special stuff for us, okay? So wonderful being with you guys, and have a wonderful day. Happy fall. Have a wonderful time this week and this weekend. Look forward to seeing you guys soon in the sewing room.